Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to my toy box. I'm back here in the Wonderland toy box that I started the other day. We're actually continuing this as a bit of a live stream so that we can build out some more of the scenery that we have around the Mad Hatter's little tea party here that I started when setting up the Wonderland toy box. So I think today what we're going to be working on is mostly just putting in some of the scenery that's around the little party here. I have the all the settings and everything set up here how I like. I think it looks like an appropriately wacky little tea party in the middle of a forest, but there's kind of lacking the forest, so we're going to need to add all that in. Between videos, I did change the color of the ground for this block that's in here, because unfortunately the one that had the pattern on it looked more like brickwork and didn't really fit with what I was trying to go for. So we're going to go with something that's a little bit more sandy here. And then I did also add in these pieces here that kind of blend the terrain from the sides into it, so it doesn't look quite so rectangular there. So today we're going to work on adding some woods around this to give it a little bit more of a scenery. I'm going to hide this while I'm thinking of it. I'm going to hide this sky changer here so that it's just out of the way. It's already shown up in a couple of my screenshots, and I don't really need it there now that we've got the now that we have the sky set. I don't really plan on changing it for this particular toy box anyway. So over here, if you were watching the last video, I took a number of the different like tree decoration sets you can do. They're like I forget what they call them. They're like bunches or whatever, and they all have like an Alice through the Looking Glass theme. So you can go through and sort of color them all. There's a whole bunch of different like mushrooms and these vines and stuff. Unfortunately, there's really only one tree. So while I'm going to make use of that tree, we do actually have to kind of flesh out the woods a little bit more with some different types of trees that we might have in the toy box as well. So this tree I'm going to put actually right behind where the Mad Hatter would be sitting. And we'll stick it over here. Now, my plan is to have a little bit of a path where I have the doorway back there is actually going to be sort of a little path that goes back, and it'll be an upward slope, and I'm going to put the Mad Hatter's house up there. But for now, I'm going to put this tree right behind here, and then the path can kind of sort of wind around to the one side of it. See, once you drop the tree, because I don't have the theme set on it, it's actually just these normal pine trees. But it's kind of cool that they have so many different options that you can pick in these when you want to kind of get them a little bit of a different look. Now, the types of flowers and mushrooms and stuff you see in these, conveniently enough, also match the background, so that kind of works out pretty good. I have a couple of items left over here that I took from the interior that I don't think I'm going to be making use of. I'm going to leave them sitting here for now, but we'll get rid of them as we build up more of the woods. I haven't decided where I want the player to start here just yet. So for now, I'm going to put this over here so it's out of the way, and that'll give me plenty of room to add in woods in the forest, or trees in the forest, rather. So let's grab a couple of these items, and we'll just kind of sprinkle them out here, and then I'm going to add a whole bunch of trees around them to kind of flesh things in. Do a little bit of variety, and we'll have a few of these. And I'm probably going to actually go back and add a couple more of these in so that we can kind of sort of Wonderland up some of the other scenery in here. I think it'd be good to have these flowers right down at this end. The little tea party clearing. And then I'm going to put some flowers on the other side, too, with this little vine. We'll kind of hedge these in behind this little banquet table I put over here. Like so. This one's really simple. It's just this funny little vine that grows up. There's not really anything else to it. This one I'm going to put out in this direction. And, again, it's going to be where that path goes by for the pathway to the Mad Hatter's house. So I'm going to set it right here. So it kind of obscures that a little bit. Grab some mushrooms. Get some of those out here. It's funny, this one's like a gigantic tree, and when you convert it over, it turns into those little mushrooms. I'm going to swap this one over just now, actually. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go in and set the theme all in here. So all these bunched items, as I put them down, should have the same through the Looking Glass, a little pattern to it. Like so. And then I'll put a couple of these little mushrooms out here too somewhere. But I want some of the things that are right close to the tea party to be. Oh, that's funny. It didn't take the pattern, even though I themed everything. All right, we'll put these out here just as lights for now, and then I can do a theme all, and we'll swap it all out. That way, I'm not doing it individually. A little assortment of toadstools here. And then lastly, we have this really long strip. And I think I can fit this in over here where I'm going to have that pathway again. I'll put another one over here too, just for something to do. I want some more of these flowers in different places. So I'll put these here. We'll put another one out here. And we'll stick something over here. I think I might have to actually move these interior items that I stuck here. They're going to be in the way in a second. I'm pretty sure you can put objects just directly on top of the carpet anyway in terms of trees and stuff, but it's still going to be a nuisance. You know what? I'm going to delete these all together. If I need any more interior items, I can just go and grab them. It's funny, they don't seem to have any issue with you actually using the interior items in the toy box, but they make it very hard for you to get them out there. I'm surprised they didn't just make it all accessible to begin with. I've even noticed in some of the developer toy boxes, they like to use the interior items outside. So, like, I did Ant-Man Infiltration the other day, and in that one, right at the end, they used some of the interior paintings that you would normally just have hanging on the walls. Instead, they had them set up in the toy box. Okay, so let's add in some normal trees. Because this doesn't really look like a forest yet. You know what? Let me do this theming here first, so I don't have these crazy light posts hanging out. Let's do theme all. There we go. Now we'll get some normal trees in here to kind of flesh out the forest a little bit. Let's see. We want to go into decorations. Clusters. That's what they're called. It's having a horrible brain fart. Trees. Okay, now which tree I'm going to pick in here, I'm not entirely sure. So we have these Radiator Springs trees. They don't... I mean, I don't think I'm going to have anything that's really going to match that background tree scenery that we're seeing there. The Pirates trees have this crazy root structure, so I don't think that's going to work. These are all wacky colors and things. We have the normal Metroville tree. I guess I could put some of these out. Smaller Metroville tree. These are just the crazy Disney Infinity trees. So, I mean, the tree options are a little bit limited that way. I think I'm going to go with... we're going to use some of these Radiator Springs trees because they're kind of a nice, big, and bushy. And I'll kind of throw out a few of these if I can even get them to take. The trouble with some of these clustered things is that they take up a lot of space. And then I'll take another type of tree and we'll kind of mix them in together. Probably the Metroville tree is what I'll go with. So, and then where'd the Metroville tree go? So I can use the smaller ones in here to kind of... It's a shame that the color is really different. I mean, I guess it's Wonderland, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, the place is kind of zany anyway. But it would just be better if it had something that was a bit of a better match. Hey, Punisher, welcome back. Okay, and we'll use some of these big ones in here too. So we got a good little mix of forest in here. Boy, these ones take up a lot of space. I mean, it's not like I'm not sucking up a whole bunch of toy box memory the way I did with the pine forest I did for Gravity Falls, but this should take up a little bit anyway. These ones are really hard to place close together though. They have such a large box. And we'll take like one more over here. If it'll fit. There we go. Alright, I'm going to pop out as Alice here, and we'll see how this looks. It doesn't look like it's really woodsy enough close into the... Yeah, so there's some like huge gaps through the trees, because these trees are just so big. I wonder if I can maybe splice in some of these other ones that are just kind of thin trees. Oh, that's tiny. These ones might work. Get kind of like a riot of colors and patterns here with the Wonderland thing. I just want to kind of fill it in a little bit so it doesn't look quite so open. I mean, it's not really all that woodsy. Hey, Zach. Yeah, I am going to do the Finding Dory playset at some point. I don't actually have it yet. I've noticed a couple people have gotten it in advance, but it doesn't actually come out until the 17th of June, I think. But to be entirely honest, I've been really lax in doing playsets. I still actually have the Inside Out playset that I bought when I first got the game when it originally came out, and I still haven't played through that. I ended up getting into the toy box so much that that kind of became my main focus, and I was doing much more toy box building than I was anything else. The Rise Against the Empire playset I only just picked up like maybe a month ago, and I still haven't played that even. Although there are some Star Wars builds that I'd still like to do, so I'm probably going to have to play that in the near future so that I can get some unlocks. I think, is it Infiniteering Adventures? I think I've seen him playing it, and he's got some good screenshots and stuff from it too. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The Finding Dory playset. He had one that he posted the other day on Twitter that was like the people being flushed down the toilet, or Dory getting flushed down the toilet and having to swim down the drain and stuff. It's a little wacky. Yeah, it really is kind of like Super Smash Brothers, but I mean the closer match to it, I think, would be saying that it's like Power Stone. I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but it was an older game for a system called the Dreamcast, and basically you just have this sort of a high angle view of the fighting area. And you take you can have up to like 4 characters fighting in there, and they just sort of battle it out. And the camera kind of follows them around as they go. The scenes are destructible. There's some things that can like drop you into different areas at different points in the fight. There's some stuff you can interact with to throw objects into the other opponents and stuff. It's kind of fun, but unfortunately it was very limited in that they didn't have online multiplayer play, and I think that's what a lot of people were really hoping for. So it didn't do nearly as good for Disney as I think that they were anticipating it would. It was a very cool setup. It just would have been so much better if you could have done more online play instead of just playing with people that are sitting next to you on the couch. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy playing with Disney Infinity. Now the game itself isn't gone. I mean, obviously I'm here playing it now, even though it's not even being supported anymore. So, I mean, you can continue to play it and you can continue to build things. I think what's going to be a challenge is a lot of speculation is going on about what's going to happen with the text creator. So if you create all these text messages, they're normally authenticated by Disney to validate whether they're going to be usable in the game. So you can't have curse words and things that they think might be inappropriate in there. So now that they're not supporting it anymore, and when they take down the servers and you can't share toy boxes or use any of the toy boxes that are already shared, then that text creator thing everybody's guessing is just going to kind of go by the wayside also. Yeah, you can play all the characters. They have like this trial system where you get like these tokens that you can use to play the other characters, even if you don't have them. But what you can't do is the challenges unless you have the characters. So you can do the normal like story mode playthrough, or you can do the like just normal battles and stuff, but you can't actually do the challenges. No, I mean, I don't hate that she has that shrinking ability. Ant-Man does shrink. It's just not like his special move. Instead is to get big. When he's doing his moveset, he kind of shrinks down and gets big again. It would be better if you could control it. I thought it would be great to be able to make like a variety of different toy boxes if you could change the size of the character and have him stay that way. That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, it just didn't play out that way. I haven't really even used any of Alice's special moves. I think I only have... What level do I have her at? Like level 2, yeah. So, I mean, I should try her special move now. So I have her special move to make her shrink. And when you hit that... Oh, no, I got the growing one, I guess. It would be really cool if you could eat more. Like, oh, boy, look at her stomp around. Alice smash. It'd be cool if you could eat more and make her, like, twice as big as that. Like, if you could just, like, tower over the treetops, that would be awesome. You do need all the Marvel characters to complete the missions. You can do spot missions or like spot challenges. You just can't do like you can't do all the challenges because each one of the challenges has a specific character that you need to play through it with, and if you don't complete the challenge that way, you don't get the unlocks. I don't think. Yeah, I mean shrinking would be cool. Like I said, he kind of does it in his moveset, so aesthetically it looks good. It just would be neat to be able to shrink down tiny and run around. And I also kind of wanted to do sort of a toy box where you could shrink down and like go through keyholes and stuff. And you can kind of do that by making like a giant size keyhole that you run through at normal size to make it look like you're small, but that's an awful lot of work. I'm gonna see if I can try and find some of the characters that we can put in the tea party here. These are all the 1.0 townspeople. I can't remember what set they have things like the oh, maybe it's the Disney Infinity townspeople. There's like the Cheshire Cat, and there's Alice. It'd be ironic to have her. I'm gonna put you know what? I'm not gonna put Mad Hatter in now because I'm intending to use him for a little bit of a quest. Let's put the Cheshire Cat in here. Now the hard part is gonna have to kind of quickly, each time I drop one of these guys, I'm gonna have to quickly go and set it so that he doesn't wander around on me. Let's see, properties, behavior. Oh, let's make him sleep. There we go. That'll keep him still at least while I'm working on putting out some more of these little guys. Yeah, I mean they still have all the figures because they still have to sell them. Once they've manufactured the figures, the stores are still going to want to sell them. I'm kind of hoping they're going to have some good sales, but I'm actually in Canada, and it never seems that the sales we get up here are any good. It's like they seem to think a big blowout is 10% off, and nobody's going to run out for that. So I have noticed there's a little scarcity around some of the figures in my area, but definitely there are still lots of them to be had. And I still want to get more of them. I mean, I have like 55 or something already, but I just like them. They're cool, and I still want to be able to play with them. So I'm kind of thinking I'm still going to get a few more. Number one character I hate the most? I don't know. That's a really good question. I kind of like all of them, at least all the ones that I have. I'm glad they didn't make Jar Jar Binks. I would have hated that one for sure. Hey, Gymnast, how are you? It's it. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of play and keep an eye on the chat that's coming in at the same time. Apparently I'm not all that great at multitasking. Who else can I put in the little tea party here? I wonder if I have a rabbit. I don't even know if there is a rabbit townsperson. It'd be a little weird if there wasn't, I guess. Let's see if we can find him. Gonna have Yeti at the tea party. So far we have a Cheshire Cat. That's not really much of a tea party. All right, just for silliness, I'm going to have this little dog character in here. Actually, I don't even know what Cosmo's from. What is that? Let's get in here and get his properties. Whoops, not team. I'm not worried about that. Behavior. Don't start wandering. Ooh, I don't want him cheering. That's kind of lame. You can jump up and down. All right, who else can we put in here? Who should we have in our tea party? Deathlock? Is he an appropriate one? Maybe not so much. Ghost Rider. I'm getting all the Marvel guys here now. This isn't what I want. There are so many townspeople. I think you might be the only one who loves Jar Jar Binks. No, I think it's a generational thing. I think that anybody who is a little bit on the older side, I don't want to date myself too much, but anyone who's a little bit on the older side who was a big fan of the original Star Wars films and got really into R2-D2 as the comic relief, I think they're totally into the whole R2-D2 scene as being the comic relief, and we're all kind of offended by Jar Jar because he's just silly in a way that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense of the movie. Teach their own, ultimately, though. Big Al. I don't know who to put in this tea party. I can't believe there's no White Rabbit in here. Am I just completely missing it? These are all character. I could put a Judy Hopps in. I guess she could kind of stand in as the rabbit. I'm really surprised they don't have a White Rabbit. They have the Queen of Hearts. They have the Mad Hatter. You can meet Alice, but of course we already have Alice, so we don't need that. I don't want to cheering, disapprove, socialize. I don't know how much wandering happens with socializing. Oh, okay, so maybe my theory is just completely out to left field then. Oh, Chip and Dale. Yeah, those are good ones I should put in here. They were in the Infinity Townspeople, right? Oh, there they are. There's the Chip costume. Let's get him in here. Oh my gosh, I can't select him. There we go. Let's try and make him stand still. The hard part with standing still as a behavior is they sometimes will do it for a while and then they'll start wandering around. Stand still. Let's walk all the way up to a seat. Okay. Now where's Dale? It takes a lot of sparks to get all the toy store stuff. I think it's somebody had actually calculated it all out, and I think it was a couple million sparks. I built a spark generator early on, so I could kind of pick up things as I wanted them. I haven't used it extensively, but I did use it to get enough sparks that I could buy certain things when I needed to use them. But there's still a lot of things in the toy store that I haven't unlocked. And again, part of the problem with that is that I haven't been really diligent at playing through the playsets. I think I've even started a couple playsets on the channel, and then I didn't finish playing them, so I didn't unlock all the stuff that was in them. I keep getting distracted by the toy box. All right, Cheshire Cat. I kind of want to see if I can put the Cheshire Cat up on the branch in this tree. I don't think I'm going to be able to, though. Let's see if I can get him to stand up first. Let's see. Let's change him over to stand still, so at least he's standing upright. And then I'm going to grab him and see if it will let me put him up in the tree. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to give me a collision issue. Yeah, it is. Oh, I can put him up above the branch. Oh, no, that's interesting. Okay. If I can get this lined up over top. Ha, I got him in the tree. Perfect. I don't know how visible he's going to be up there. Let's see. Oh, he walked down. Come on, he's supposed to be standing still. Okay, maybe I can grab him and change his behavior again. Maybe if he's cheering or something, it will change. Maybe he'll stay still. Time does seem like a bit of a waste. I was kind of surprised that they made him as a character. Having seen the movie, 'cause I didn't see the movie until like last week, and it does seem a little surprising to me that they made Time as a character, particularly since they made him a villain. He's not in the movie. He's not even really a villain. If anything, it's the Queen of Hearts that continues to be the villain. I can't select this guy. It's zoomed too far out. This is awful. Come on. Just pick him. I had him selected to change his properties, and now I can't pick him because this tree's in the way. I wonder if I'm gonna have to kick out to Alice and see if I can get him with the wand. There we go. All right, let's try you in the tree this time. And laughing seems to be the appropriate behavior for this guy. That's not going to fall on the branch. Okay, let's see if he stays up there now. Now, when I save it and I load back in, I have no idea if he's going to still be in the tree or not. Yeah, he's up there for now. Okay. So let's put, let's see if we can get some of these guys on seats around the tea party. Oh, and I guess if I want this to be kind of like Alice Through the Looking Glass, I can also try putting in a character that looks kind of like the little White Queen lady. Let's get her facing forward. There we go. I'm going to put somebody on this big seat at the opposite end of where the Mad Hatter would normally sit. I think this is Dale I have, yeah. Let's put Dale over here. Clunk. Deadpool would have been awesome, but they had this big issue with the violence, and they were trying to steer clear of having a character that had a movie that was that violent, I think, and a general personality that's that violent. You'll notice that it's funny, they have swords and stuff on some of the other characters, and they didn't seem to have an issue with that, but I think it's just the blatant violence that they had a little too much of an issue with Deadpool. The wristbands are exclusively in Disney World. I think you can't order them online, though, through the Disney store. They just won't have anything programmed in them in terms of park access. But you can also use your mobile phone to unlock some of the Disney World stuff. So you can, if you set your phone to, if you have like an iPhone or a Google smartphone, there's a thing you can activate on it for mobile pay. And when you set it on top of the platform, it'll unlock the partner statue in Disney World for you. It doesn't unlock the little ship you can boot around in that's supposed to be like the little Disney Cruise Line. Yeah, I think you actually have to have a Cruise Line wristband for that one, and you can often buy those on eBay. But you can unlock the partner statue using your phone. Well, not everyone made. So there were people make little 3D printed models of some of the characters. So even though you might have seen Deadpool, it may not necessarily have been an official figure. I know there was somebody that was doing these really great little custom figures. Oh, I'm gonna put this little monkey guy in here. And I've seen a few of his. He also did like a Tarzan one and what have you. They were never official figures. They were just ones that he did himself. He did an amazing job at them. I think the guy's name is Heck. You'll sometimes see them posted on Twitter. You'll have these great little pictures of them. So it's possible that Deadpool was one of those. But they made a statement a couple times saying that they were never gonna put him out. Let's see what we're gonna have here. Stand still, dance, boxing. Let's make a little frowny monkey. Maybe the frowny monkey at the party. Oh, I must have. Shoot. I have Dale on stand still, and you can see he walked off the chair again. Unfortunately, you've got to give them something other than just stand still. They just won't actually stand there. Which is funny, because it's the only one you would think that would actually make them stand still, but... I'm going to have trouble selecting him again. Oh, Doctor Strange would have been cool, too. Alright, Dale. You know what? I should probably set his properties here again. Let's make him dance. We'll have Dancing Dale on the comfy seat at the end of the table. I was really looking forward to the Robin Hood figure. And if you haven't seen that, there's some images that have leaked out of what that was really going to look like. And I was really looking forward to getting that. I wanted to build like a whole Neverland toy box and everything to play around with them in. But it's sad that unfortunately the game came to an end. It was purely a business decision on Disney's part. They apparently were not making nearly as much money as what it seemed like. Oh, geez, another guy walked off his chair. What is with these guys? I must have had Chips at his standstill also. Yeah, I did. Let's make him angry. Just because we can. Favorite character of all time, except for Time, who sucks. Yeah, I don't even have time. So far of the Alice characters, I've only picked up Alice. I want to get the Mad Hatter too, just because he looks neat. Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter always struck me a little weird, but I think, in terms of like character style, I really like Jack Skellington. In terms of playability, I'm thinking probably Stitch. But it's really hard. I tend to cycle through the characters a lot when I'm doing toy box building, and I'll just bring a different one each time. Obviously, I can't do that every time because I only have like 50 of them. But It's hard to pick one that I like most, I think. But I would have to go with probably either like Jack Skellington or Stitch. In Star Wars, I would say probably Kylo Ren, I think. Mostly because his moveset is really cool. See you, Punisher. Thanks for coming by. What app you need for that phone trick? Oh, it's not even an app. It's actually if I can remember what it's called in here. I think I unlocked it actually with my Google phone. I happen to have a work phone that's a Google operating system, and I have a personal phone that is an iPhone. And I don't have my work phone handy next to me, so unfortunately I'm not sure what the feature is. But it's something like it's a setting you turn on in the settings that lets it detect local devices, and if you turn that on, then when you put it on the base, it detects it and will unlock. Ant-Man's fun to play with. I've really been enjoying running around with him. I think mostly because I like making him really huge and then running around smashing stuff. All right, I'm going to try and put a little path in here if I can figure out where they're located. I know we have there's a path that's in the farming pieces. I can put that in. And we're going to build a little rise over where I have the toy box door to go into the interior. What am I doing here? And for all the times I built it, you'd think I would just have it memorized where each of these different things are, but I'm apparently not that bright. Okay, so we have stone path corners. I think I just want the dirt path, though. And I'm going to make this dirt path kind of run from the clearing, if it'll let me. Ooh, I'm really encroaching on these trees a bit. We'll run it from the clearing out here. How is that collision? That is crazy. The first one isn't, and this one is. That is messed up. Okay. I think I'm going to have to start off with a little curved piece here. Oh, got all disoriented. This is going to be tricky. I think I'm going to put these trees all in too close together. I think this will work. Alright, this works fine. And then just for no sense at all, I'm going to put another little crazy turn at the end. Okay, so over here where I have this toy box door, I think I'm going to build kind of like a little rise to an island over here that'll have the Mad Hatter's house on it. You didn't miss a ton. I was just kind of plugging in some trees and stuff. I put characters in on the Tea Party. I haven't done any logic around them yet. I'm going to use some of them for maybe a little bit of a quest giving kind of thing. But I'll deal with that logic once I figure out what kind of questing I want to do. First off, I'm kind of building scenery. And then based on that scenery, I'll plug in some quest stuff. So what I'm thinking is I'll have the player like show up in this portion of the toy box. So they'll start on the other side of the tea party. So when they walk in, they'll be in the tea party and there'll be some dialogue and stuff in there, and then maybe a quest. And if I'm going to make this maybe similar to what the movie is like, then we'll have the Mad Hatter's house over in this side. And they'll be like, okay, the Mad Hatter's sick or something, and you got to go check him out. And then I'll have you come up to the house, and maybe we can do an interior where we can do the Mad Hatter's house. And then from there, I'd like to have it skip off to another area of a toy box where it's maybe like Time's Castle, and you have to kind of go in and you can do some platforming to get through to that little orb thing they had. I forget what it's called. The Chronosphere, I think they were calling it. And then when you get to the Chronosphere, you'll fight Time. And then I haven't really decided what I want to do after that yet. But that's a lot of building still to go, even just with those pieces. Let's see. That's not going to work. I want this to kind of slope upwards a little bit. Yeah, it really is kind of, that always struck me funny that it's at Disney Infinity, but you kind of run into limits all the way along. What struck me really funny is well, they called it Disney Infinity, but then there was a new one coming out all the time. I was like, well, that doesn't feel very infinite. I'm infinitely spending. Okay, let's put a little curvy path. Then we'll maybe do like a bridge. Oh, is this not going to line up? Oh, it kind of does. Okay. And then I want something that goes uphill. I wonder what the 12-inch characters would have been like. I mean, it's not like they were really even going to fit on the platform, so I don't know how you would use them. It'd be neat if I could make this path, like, spiral upwards. I don't think I can with the terrain, though. There's nothing that's really shaped that way. No, I don't see anything here I want to use. Okay, maybe there's caverns and tunnels, slopes and ramps that maybe have something. Grassy bridge, no. Ramp cliff, nope. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? I could have sworn there was something that had like a little switchback kind of thing to it. You know, I'm actually, I was really impressed with the Star Wars movie that they put out. So I'm thinking Rogue One could actually turn out to be really good. They actually had this this press release where they were saying they're kind of focusing on expanding the entire. No, that's too much. They're kind of looking expanding kind of the entire universe, and getting more focus on some of these supplementary characters. I mean, after the movies, they had all these novel series that came out that really kind of went into depth on characters that were only referenced at a glance in the movies. Sometimes they were just background scenery, and they're kind of focusing on through Disney on making some of those things, some of those characters more front and center, and building like a more complete universe out of it. So I think that could actually turn out to be really good. But I don't know. I'm still. I mean, the jury's out, I think, on what it's going to turn out to be exactly. But all right, I'm just going to go this way. I can't find something that's suiting what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to do this little tiny slope. And then underneath this, I'll have to put a big terrain block. Oh, that's a little bigger than I was planning. That's even bigger. All right, maybe something like that. No, I'm going to get rid of the slope. This isn't working out at all. I'll just make it flat. And then in this on this little thing here, I'll do some cliff sides on it, so it doesn't look like just a big square. Cliffs and ledges. That's too big. Ooh, that's really big. How does that line up exactly? All right, so I'll put these on the other side, and that'll give us kind of the generalized shape. And then on the back side, or actually on the front side where the little ramp things comes in, I need something smaller. I still want it to be kind of flat, but these are too big. I don't think we're going to see Disney Infinity come back. Not that I wouldn't like it to, but see, they were running into licensing challenges with their own intellectual property. So they own the rights to the Marvel, all the Marvel characters and stuff. And they said a few times that they couldn't do X-Men because the rights for the toys and for movie distribution and what have you were owned by other companies that had like, pre-existing contracts. So I as much as I would like to see Disney Infinity come back, I think getting any other company to have that mix of the right intellectual properties and then to actually expand on the game and build on it and still have all the things you already had before still usable, just it doesn't seem very feasible, unfortunately. The Toys to Life thing has always been a little bit of a gimmick, and I think they jumped on that after Skylanders sort of got involved, and the figures they made were really cool. And they kind of took a different tack at it in building everything out, where Skylanders was almost entirely focused on storyline. Instead, with Disney Infinity, they made it much more open-ended and kind of made it like, why don't you build the story? And then they just did some play sets to sort of support the play. But I don't really see it coming back, unfortunately. Elsa equals Rosalina? I'm lost. Who's Rosalina? Yeah, I mean the thing with Skylanders is it was wildly popular with a younger age group too. So I don't know. You see like the press articles and stuff they put out where they were saying that Disney Infinity had captured like the market for Toys to Life, but if that's true, then how are these other companies not suffering? I don't know. Maybe it just costs them so much more to make the figures and distribute them because the figures are amazing. Like, geez, even just as a collectible all by themselves, they're great. I'm having a hard time actually talking and working at the same time, so I'm going really slow. I apologize for anyone who's bored by how slow this is building. Character in the Mario series. Oh, okay. Is it to do with the train and trigger area and or invisible wall that, whatever it is called. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, so this is where I'm going to build the Mad Hatter's house. I probably should have done a little bit more forethought about what I was going to make that look like. I was going to grab some screenshots from like the movie so that we would kind of have an idea what to make it look like. But I guess we could make it just kind of look like a big top hat sort of thing, right? So if we run in here, I'm going to get out of the train, get into the main unfiltered areas. Dragon Ball Z and Disney Infinity. I never really got into Dragon Ball Z. Mind you, I wasn't terribly into Pokemon either. No, this is like storefront. This doesn't work. How am I going to do this? Let me think. Maybe I'll work with basic blocks. And I can kind of stick some interior items on it to add windows and things. I'm kind of doing a stream tonight just on a whim, so I didn't take some time to do a little experimenting and plan out what I was going to do with the Mad Hatter's house. I probably should have. I wish I had like a big round shape that I could make the base more rounded. Like 9,000 years or just 9,000 something else? Oh yeah, the wall you're talking about that you can't walk through is the resizable barrier wall. All right, let's. I really wish I'd planned this out ahead of time. Okay, nope, that didn't work. I want to stick this inside so we don't have the funny corners there. All right, so we have our basic square. And then we could put a brim on it, but I don't think I'm going to like this. There's something in here I can use, maybe. I haven't played Mad Hatter at all yet. I picked up Alice, and I should have grabbed Mad Hatter at the same time. That's more like City Hall kind of looking thing. I don't really want that. It's like a storefront. No, these buildings aren't the vibe I'm going for. I think I'm going to have to go and experiment a little bit. Figure out what I want to do with the Mad Hatter. I've got this whole forest section largely built out. We've already run about 45 minutes, and I started streaming before this, doing some Rocket League just for kicks to kind of unwind a little bit. So I might actually call it a wrap tonight. I've been streaming now for like an hour and a half. And I'm gonna have to do some experimenting, unfortunately, to figure out what I want to do with the Mad Hatter, because I'm drawing a bit of a blank at the moment. I should have thought in advance before I jumped in here. Let's find Alice's through the looking glass here, so we can get the rest of the terrain textured the same way. Oh, I shouldn't do this. I don't want to change that dirt block in the middle. I think I've switched that thing 3 times already. Where are you? There aren't all that many options in here. There we go. We'll swap this one. I'm not sure what you're trying to describe in terms of what you're doing with the. Are you saying the terrain block? Oh, there's triggering areas will sometimes work that way. It's not so much the barrier blocks as the trigger areas will let you avoid object collision. Is that what you're talking about? No, the reason I'm not theming all at the same time is I have this one dirt block in the middle of the other land section over there, and I'm getting tired of resetting that thing. And you're right, I probably could have themed all of these at once and then gone and done that one change instead, but now that I'm almost finished. So what does he want me to do with the object collision? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at. What's the Heartless? I'm not familiar with that. Is that from Kingdom Hearts? All right, so we have our basic layout here. I really wish I'd thought more about what I want the Mad Hatter's house to look like, but it's going to go over here. And then I think I'm going to do like a collection quest where you have to run around in the woods and pick up some items. But I want to plan all that out before I try to build it here. If I try to do this randomly now, it's just going to turn out all wacky. Oh, it is from Kingdom Hearts. Eh? I'm actually, there's supposed to be another one of those games coming out. They came up with one for the mobile just recently, and I thought about trying it out and seeing if I could even make videos out of that. But you need like an extra setup to kind of do that, so I didn't bother. But when the new Kingdom Hearts game comes out, I want to go play that. That looks pretty cool. Funny enough, I wasn't really even familiar with it until I wasn't even familiar with the Kingdom Hearts until they started putting stuff in Disney Infinity for it. All right, so we got a little bit more progress done in this toy box. There is an awful lot yet to build, and I'm still going to have to do some planning to figure out what I want to do with some of the other layouts. This was sort of an ad hoc stream just to jump in and do a little building. Happy to see a bunch of people jumped in to kind of watch me play along, but I'm going to do some more streaming probably. This is only the second time I've done any streaming at all. So I'll come up with a plan for what I want to do next time instead of just sort of randomly adding it to the end of some Rocket League. And we'll get some more building going on. Thank you, everyone that came out to check out the stream. I hope you follow along with the videos as well. We're going to continue building Alice in Wonderland the next time I do a toy box build, and by then I'll figure out what I want to do with Mad Hatter's house and some of the quests that I'm going to start to lay in here also. So thanks again, everyone. I hope you follow along next time. I'm CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time. All right, just before I log out, I'll jump in the bath. Oh, I didn't realize you could go right in the water. That's funny. Now, if I can make her lay down. Hold on. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a great night.